What's up, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome back to a brand new feature match here in round 3 featuring Kozmo and Blue Eyes facing off in the final round. Again, post-ban list. This is all post-ban list. New Kozmo build with 1 Destroyer and, of course, 1 E-Telly, the only thing that really ended up affecting Kozmo. Blue Eyes not getting affected too much by the ban list, as we know, but we all decided that we'd play the new list since it would only be enacted about 2 days down the road, so we all agreed, sort of made a consensus that we'd all play the new list. Of course, it didn't really affect my deck at all. I just took a Maxi out of the side deck, being Mermails I'm talking about. Completely erased the fact that I'd be playing Monarchs again. Of course, you can play Soul Exchange and a bunch of other stuff, but I just didn't want to go through the trouble of having to play that kind of stuff. So I just scrapped it for now, and I'm going to be playing Mermail exclusively for a little while unless I can figure out something with Monarchs. You'll see Anti-Spell Fragrance opening up there after that strong Tin Can playthrough E-Telly. That Sage getting striked. Not much else he can do there if he doesn't have... Yeah, just going to set 3 back row. I saw Trade-In. Can't really do too much there unless he has a level 8. Now, I think there was a misplay here at the moment. See, he'll activate Kozmo Town with the Anti-Spell Fragrance still on the board. He does get to illegally add back and shuffle and draw 1 card, but they do catch it right here because of the Anti-Spell. They ended up letting me know right here. So thankfully it didn't go on any further, so the Cupidity will not resolve due to Anti-Spell Fragrance being on the field. He'll have to set that first. So they just let the whole the shuffle effect slide. Neither of them caught it, but they were likely enough to catch it before it went on any further. So I do apologize for that, as you know, sometimes these things happen in life. Can't always be perfect. So adding that copy of Dark Destroyer to his hand. Dark Eclipser, I guess. Tagging out Farm Girl, swinging in for 3k, saving the Dark Destroyer for a little bit later, it looks like. Still have that Anti-Spell up. Flipping up that Trade-In, discarding the alternative. That is what he needed to see. Thankfully, all those cards were set as bluffs, giving him an opportunity to make plays the next turn. Double Trade-In, setting 2 more, presumably spell cards face down. I think he had a Silver's Cry on hand at one point. He'll be able to make use of that during his opponent's turn, to be able to revive out that Blue Eyes Engrave. Obviously, it is a normal monster, so he could revive it if he wanted to. Not a trap card, so thankfully Dark Eclipser cannot touch it. Let's get another Sage in hand. Can flip out the Silver's Cry to revive Blue Eyes. And I think he's going to go for the Stone instead of the Sage, it looks like. Synchroing for Azure Eyes. Very interesting choice. In end phase, we'll see a Twin Twister hitting both set back row. Discarding Allure of Darkness. I think he went... Oh yeah, that Stone in the end phase is going to get him the effect to summon out the Spirit. He could banish Anti-Spell, Kozmo Town, or his set. Banishing Kozmo Town would be very nice. And I think he ended up siding in Cosmic Cyclones, which I think is a new card that came out recently. You pay 1,000 life points, it's a quick play spell card, and you banish a spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. He will banish the set Cupidity. Kozmo Town adding back Farm Girl. Pretty solid board. Azure Eyes effect is currently protecting his side of the field. He'll use the shuffle effect of Kozmo Town, hoping to draw into something a little bit better here. Looks like he drew into another monster. One thing that would be helpful here, I think, it would be a pilot in which he can tag into a Dark Destroyer to help clear off that field. But that Azure Eyes is going to make things a little bit tough to do that. Specifically because they cannot be targeted or destroyed for, I think, the next 2 turns. And then we'll see the standby phase here, reviving Blue Eyes from his graveyard. And I think he still has that Sage in his hand, so he can definitely make some very, very good plays this turn if he's willing to use the resources on it. If you think he can go for game here. The only thing he has to worry about is that Dark Eclipser Well, not really. The Dark Eclipser cannot tag out into anything. It just adds. So I guess it is a fair replacement for Dart Destroyer. I think there's one way that Dart Destroyer could be a little bit fair is if it didn't tag out into something even more annoying. Another level 7 2800 monster that can't be targeted either. Luckily, when you get rid of Dark Eclipser, you don't have to worry about it floating. It just adds to hand. And if he doesn't have anything in his hand for Farm Girl to tag on to, he's going to be okay here to be able to start attacking and try to get through this field. Sage adding that level 1 light tuner, adding another legendary stone. He plays it right. He could end up running over the Farm Girl first and then taking out the Eclipser, so he doesn't give him fodder to tag into. Could add Dart Destroyer to his hand off Eclipser if he does attack incorrectly, and then Farm Girl could tag out into the Dart Destroyer. So definitely a way he could, the Kozmo player could play out of this if it was played out incorrectly by the Blue Eyes player there. Both good friends of mine. So you're going after the Farm Girl into Slip Rider. We'll see a chaining Maxi. A couple things going on there at the same time. Maxi now at 2 for some reason. I don't know. Is anybody else confused by that? And does it make any sense to you? Does not make a lick of sense to me. Just going to go for Slip Rider. Going for Straw Man off the destroyed Kozmo Town. Now, Kozmo Slip Rider can float down. But that might be it for his battle phase. As we know, he could have had the option to synchro into Blue Eye Spirit Dragon to have a graveyard negation effect if he wanted to be able to stop that Slip Rider from floating any further. Got to synchro his Sage and probably regular Blue Eyes for that. But I think his battle phase has been used up at this point, because there's not too much else he can do for that 3000 attack. Dark Eclipser, which is proving to be probably a big issue right now. And then we'll see White Stone banishing itself to add back, I think, an alternative dragon from grave to hand, so that'll be very useful next turn. Saving that resource. Not going to burn out too much resources at the moment. Kind of a lengthier game one. I think it went on for a pretty decent amount of time. He's just going to pass standby phase, gaining that free advantage off Azure Eyes. I love it. Special summon out that Blue Eyes for no cost. He's got a pretty stacked field. He could make a rank 8 if he wanted to. We'll see a Dragon Shrine being activated. Anti-Spell is still on the field. Apparently not too much of a threat for the Blue Eyes player. Setting cards, setting spells this whole game has seemed to proven to be very effective. While that Anti-Spell may be a hurting Kozmo player in the near future, if he draws another Kozmo Town or any other spell card, it could prove to hurt him if he cannot activate it because his own Anti-Spell is there. Alternative coming down. Now he could pop Slip Rider and then use Spirit Dragon's effect to negate it. Then it leaves him no way to really get over that Slip Rider, the Eclipser. He's going to have to think of a unique way to get rid of that Dark Eclipser. We'll see Spirit Dragon tag out for Michael Arc Lightsworn. He'll pay 1,000 life points to target a card and banish it, so he cannot target Eclipser, but he could target Slip Rider to get that off the field, or he could definitely target the Anti-Spell if he wanted to, but not going to. Going to pay the 1,000 to banish the Slip Rider. Overlaying Spirit and Blue Eyes for Giant Grinder. And then going into number 77 or number 77 Sins? Number 77 7 Sins? I'm not sure what his number is, but it's a rank 12, I believe. It has a really amazing effect. I'm not sure that you can use it the turn it is summoned if you overlay it like that. But it does have 4,000 attack, I'm pretty sure. So he could definitely easily beat over it with that. That Dark Eclipser is not going to do too much. There's a Crystal Wing, just like that. And that's going to wrap it up for game one. Going to have to go into number 7 Sins. Number 77 7 Sins, whatever its number is. Very, very cool XC. One of my favorites of the new Spider XCs that kind of came out in the Gold Series. We had Pain Gainer and 7 Sins being some of the coolest ones to come out of that set. See here in game 2, Kozmo Town, setting 3 back row, E-Telly. The one of, seeing a very similar turn as we did last game, and we'll see side deck cards in the main deck. I think you have Magical Reflector, that counter trap that stops quick plays and field spells from being activated for a turn. Stops a lot of cards on the Blue Eyes side. So, setting 3, Kozmo Tin Can tagging out for Slip Rider. Doesn't want to lose it, the banishment effect to the E-Telly. And a System Down, one of the new super rares from the OTS 2-pack. Getting rid of all of those ships, 3 cards in total. Getting rid of the one and only Dart Destroyer, but it's not gone for good. As we know, Kozmo Town is a thing. I believe the Blue Eyes player did side in Cosmic Cyclone. I think 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone to be able to hit Kozmo Towns left and right all day without having to worry about getting a search off. Card is the best side deck card in my opinion against Cosmos. That and System Down, as you saw there, I think are probably some of the best side deck cards you could look for. So if you want to know what you want to side against Cosmos, Cosmic Cyclone and System Down, in my opinion, are your best bet. Return of the Dragon Lords, helping to fix that Broken Soul Charge and that Solemn Strike. And a Spirit Dragon, banishing Call of the Haunted. And Blue Eyes Spirit also synchro. And then the Cosmic Cyclone there to banish the Kozmo Town immediately, not even getting a chance to get off the ground. Hoping Pot of Cupidity is going to help him out. I am over there in the far left, top left corner, seeing what he drew into. It's not too good. I think it was Twin Twister and Wicked Witch. And he's just going to pick him up right there, and it's going to be game over. Cosmic Cyclone proving to be MVP right there. 2 copies of those and 2 copies of System Down will take him to victory. So yeah, that's it for round 3, the final round. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really does mean a lot. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the videos. Hope you guys enjoyed the footage and the commentary. That was the should be the end of the feature matches for this week, and we'll be getting plenty more within the next coming weeks. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you in the next one.